Let's chat about my biggest hits and misses of 2025. Hi, my name is Sarah, and if you're new here, I make videos about sewing and styling a handmade wardrobe. Today, I'm going to share with you my biggest wins of 2025 and also my biggest fails. I will put all of the pattern links down in the description box and also the videos that went along with these items. So if you want more details, you can check it out down there. Before we get into the wins and fails, I'm going to share with you my general overall stats for 2025. Now, technically, we're not quite to the end of December when I'm filming this, and I may finish one or two more things. But just to get an idea of the things that I finished this year, in total, I made 37 finished makes and 17 repairs and refashions. Now, comparing that to 2024, when I made 65 different projects and 30 repairs and refashions. So I've gone down quite a bit from the year before, which I actually consider to be a success. So I'm really glad that I've actually slowed down and gotten it to a more reasonable amount. To further break down the 37 finished makes, I had 9 hand knits this year and 28 that were sewn. And then I also completed 27 projects for myself and 10 projects for others. Now I'm going to leave the analysis of these stats until my next video, which would be my final video of 2025 when I talk about my reflections and my goals for 2026. But for now, I just wanted to share the overall stats with you. And now I'm going to move on to my fails. We'll talk about those first so that I can end on a positive note and share with you my favorite makes from this year. So starting off at the beginning of the year, my first fail was the Megan Nielsen Dawn jeans. I made them out of a red corduroy that I was sponsored from Minerva. This one is probably my biggest fail of the year because I never got to wear the pants. I had been dealing with an injury, and so my mind wasn't completely on my sewing, and I made a mistake where the zipper was actually visible when you wore the pants. And so I was too embarrassed to wear them because it looked like my fly was open even when it wasn't. So I never wore the pants and I threw them in a basket, and I had planned to fix them at some point. Then I got them out at the very end of the year and tried to do a fix, but I failed at that and completely ruined the zipper installation. And at that point, I decided that I'd had enough and I was just going to send the pants to textile recycling, which I did. So I never ended up wearing those pants. So I don't know how you can get more of a fail than that. That's like the most failiest fail of the year. In hindsight, though, having to deal with another fail on this list, which I'll eventually get to, I'm really glad that I didn't try to go back and fix the zipper because I don't think that I would have been happy with the results. So I do think that calling it was the right decision, even though it was painful at the time. And it was just a lesson to maybe just don't sew if I'm not feeling my best. And then hopefully I can avoid making those mistakes in the first place. Making new clothes for myself is not an emergency situation. It's not something that I actually need to be doing. So if I'm not feeling my best, then I should just take a break until I'm able to concentrate and feel better. So that was the lesson that I learned from that one. My second fail of the year is the Style Arc Como pants. This one was a fail because I was being too lazy. So I had made these pants, but it was many, many years ago, like back in 2017 or 2018. And I was a very different size back then than I am now. But I didn't want to reprint the pattern and refit it. So I just cut out the pattern that I had used back then. And that was a big mistake because the pants did not fit me at all. I made these loungewear pants. And so I used a sweatshirt fleece that I had purchased from Minerva. And I think I did a decent job with the sewing and everything, but the pants simply didn't fit. And so I did wear them quite a few times this year, but they were never comfortable. And I've recently decided to go ahead and declutter them because they don't fit me, and so I shouldn't keep them around. So this fail was a nice reminder that I should always make a muslin, especially if I haven't made the pattern in several years, just to make sure that it's actually going to fit me and that I don't need to make more changes. So my third fail of the year was the assembly line puff sleeve shirt. I have made this twice. This was my second time making the pattern. There's nothing wrong with the pattern. I would actually sew the blouse again in a different fabric. This one was all about a mistaken fabric choice. So I have been committed for a while in trying to use the fabric that's already in my stash before I buy new things, but I haven't really been taking into account the fact that my tastes have changed. And so some of the fabric that I purchased years ago is not fabric that I actually like and want to wear today. So I had had this rayon fabric that was in my stash for several years. I had never used it and I wanted to go ahead and use it up. So I made this blouse, but then I never wanted to wear the blouse because truthfully, I just don't really like the fabric anymore. I do think that objectively it's a pretty fabric and it might be nice on someone else, but I just don't think that it really suits me. It's not my personal style. So making this blouse in this fabric was definitely a mistake. And in the future, I shouldn't force myself to use a fabric just because it's in my stash. I need to make sure that it's something that I actually want to wear. And so I have actually decided to go ahead and declutter this blouse as well. I've listed it on Lucky Sweater to just give away because I think that it's a nicely well-made blouse, but I just know that I'm never going to reach for it because I don't like it that much. And if I don't like the fabric, I know that I'm not going to want to wear the garment. And so it's actually just a waste of time to go ahead and push through and do that. Because at this point, I have so many clothes in my closet. If I love other things a lot more, I'm never going to reach for those items that I'm just feeling kind of meh about. And my final fail of the year that I want to share is my husband's Jutland pants from Thread Theory. I made these out of a cotton twill that I got from Fabric Wholesale Direct. I've made these pants several times before, but this time I had an issue with the zipper and I had to rip out the zipper insulation and redo it. And so I was able to finally, in the end, do that, but the results don't look very nice. They don't look up to my particular standards. And that's why I'm happy that I didn't try to fix my Dawn jeans, because I know that if I had done the same thing and if I had replaced the zipper, that I would not have been happy with the outcome and I wouldn't have worn them. Now, thankfully for me, my husband's standards are a little bit lower than mine, and he's happy to wear the pants. He doesn't really see the flaws that I see, but I still consider these to be a fail because I just don't think that the sewing is good enough to be reflective of what I'm capable of, if that makes sense. And because I was so disappointed in those pants, I'm actually currently working on another pair of Jutland pants for him for Christmas. These are out of corduroy, and I'm hopeful, fingers crossed, that this pair is going to go a lot better, and I'll be able to kind of make it up to him, even though he doesn't even think that I did anything wrong. So what are the general lessons that I learned this year from my misses? Well, first of all, taking the time to make a muslin is not a waste of time. It's actually going to save me in the long run. I need to take my time with my sewing and know when to stop in order to avoid just making those stupid mistakes that I would know better if I were in a better place. And I need to take more time to consider my fabric choices and make sure that it's something that I actually want to wear in my lifestyle, on my personal self today, and not just plow through and make something because I have the fabric in my stash. Before we move on to my favorites, I'll talk about what I'm wearing today. Up top, I have on my True Bias Miko top that I made several years ago. This is one of my favorites. I love this burgundy color. Then I have my Butterick 6901 vest that I made this year. And I'm also wearing my Target denim skirt that I got a couple of years ago. Then I just have on some opaque tights and my Doc Marten Oxfords. If you're enjoying this video and feel like you're getting some value out of it, I would appreciate it so much if you would give me a thumbs up because it helps more people find my channel, and thank you for your support. Now for the hits of 2025, I actually had a hard time narrowing this down. I didn't want this video to be too long, and so I wanted to laser in on only my absolute most favorite makes of the year, but I am happy to say that I had several other things that could have made this list, but these are my absolute top favorites. And again, starting with earlier in the year and moving up towards the end of the year, my first big success was the Arios socks that I made out of Madeline Tosh Twist Light. I've really enjoyed having a pair of bright red socks. I know it might seem kind of silly, but I just like having that little pop of color that I can have sneaking out of my jeans or my trousers. I like to wear them with loafers or with low profile sneakers so that you can see them. I do have other socks in different colors, like I have a pair of bright blue ones, I have a pair of bright green ones, I have a pair of burgundy ones, and I like wearing all of those as well, but the red ones are definitely my favorite. And I think that the lace pattern adds just a little bit of texture, and I really enjoyed knitting the socks, and I absolutely love wearing them. This was a free pattern too, which I will link down in the description box, and I would definitely knit this pattern again at some point. My second big success of the year was the Alina Design Company Hampton jean jacket. This was my second time sewing this, and I like this version even more than the first. I used a lightweight dark wash denim fabric that I got from LA Finch Fabrics. I've worn this jacket quite a lot this year, and I think the reason is because it goes so well with so much of my wardrobe. I do feel like the dark wash goes a lot better than my original light wash version. So I think that's why I tend to reach for it more. And also because the denim is pretty lightweight, it's something that I can wear even in the summertime and it doesn't feel too hot or too heavy. I personally feel that a denim jacket is just incredibly classic and it never really goes out of style. So I plan to keep this one in my wardrobe for many years and to keep wearing it until I can't anymore. The next big hit of the year is the True Bias Darla dress that I sewed for my birthday out of a Rifle Paper Company rayon. This one I was really proud of because I took my time and I made a muslin and I made sure that I got a really good fit. My husband and I took a weekend getaway and I wore it on my birthday trip out to dinner, and I just felt really beautiful wearing it. It was the perfect dress for us to celebrate in, and I'm hoping to get more wear out of it next summer and in many summers to come. I haven't gotten an opportunity yet, but I do feel like this dress has a lot of different styling potential. So I'm looking forward to putting different outfits together when the weather warms up next year. Next up on my wins list is the Jennifer Lauren Handmade Dulcie Pinafore that I made out of a wool flannel fabric that I got from Fabric Mart, and I lined it in silk that had been in my stash for a really long time. This one is a recent make, but I've already worn it I think 5 times since I finished it, which for me is quite a lot. It goes with a ton of different tops in my wardrobe and also different layering pieces, and it just fits in really well with my personal style. It's the mature pinafore dress that I never knew that I needed. It fits me beautifully, and you can definitely wear it both dressed up or more dressed down. I absolutely love it. I'm so happy that I made it, and I finally have a dress that I feel comfortable wearing in the winter season, which is something that I've been wanting to add to my closet for years. Now, right on the heels of the Dulcie, I completed the I Am Patterns pearl blouse made out of an Eco Vero viscose that I was sponsored by Minerva. This was another one that I just took my time and made a muslin and made sure that I got a really good fit. I have another placebo blouse in my wardrobe that doesn't fit nearly as well as this one, and I just feel the difference when I put the pearl on versus the other one that doesn't fit as well. I just want to reach for this one again and again. I feel like it's really versatile. It goes with a lot of things in my wardrobe. I absolutely love the fabric. And I definitely want to go back and revisit this pattern and make some of the other versions, because now that I have a really good fit, I think that it's a really versatile pattern that will look good in many different fabrics. And I definitely want to wear my pearl blouse as much as I possibly can. I think because of the nature of it, I'll be able to wear it in probably 3 out of the 4 seasons, and I just absolutely love it. And finally, rounding out my top mix of the year, this one's just a little baby. It was just released into the wild. I've only had it for like a week or two, but I already know that it's going to be a great success. It's the Jolie Lab Hazel Top. It's the second version that I've made out of a white viscose that I got from Rainbow Fabrics. Even though it's an extremely recent make and I haven't worn it that much yet, I just know that it's going to be a huge success because it is now the only white blouse that I have in my wardrobe. So I know that it's going to get a lot of wear because I wore my other white shirt so much. It's another one that I took my time and got the fit just right, and I just know it's going to go with so much in my closet, and it adds a little bit of a new dimension in that it's a little bit more feminine than my previous white shirt. So I just feel like it adds a little bit of a different touch, and I think that's going to keep me excited and wanting to keep pulling it out of the closet. I haven't done it yet, but I'm actually really excited to pair that with my Dulcie Pinafore. I think that's going to be a really cute combination, and I just know that I can wear it with so many different things. So those were my hits and misses of the year 2025. Please let me know in the comments what your favorite makes of the year were, or if you had any fails that you wanted to share. Of course, no one likes having fails, but I do think ultimately it's a positive experience because you can learn from them and then not make those mistakes in the future. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch my videos, and I'll see you in the next one.